Welcome back, everybody. Welcome, and hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Or if not, maybe just kick back and relax. See what's happening, what's popping. Usually, I'm not saying you're going to watch this video, but if you want to support this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, share to your friends and loved ones. And if you, I don't know, let's just continue to the game, I guess. Yeah. Whoop-de-doo, let's go. At least you're pretty sure that's the case. If anyone's asking, you're like, I don't want to watch the last episode. I think I got the gist of it. So we're getting grilled or asked by some really funny topics by Daphne. I'm a living being, or I was at least. I'm not at all like Kronos. What the hell? Kronos. I don't know. So that's the incident in which we're like AI machines and robots were so intelligent they were like, screw humans. We're taking over the world. People have like this fear of advanced AI and stuff. Yeah, I think it could happen. After some time spent questioning both you and herself, Daphne lightly shakes her head before turning to face you once again. You know what? You're right. You really mean that? I mean, yeah, what? You think I'm gonna say something like, people are right to be afraid of you or some dumb shit like that? Fuck people, they're full of shit, a lot of them. Interesting. If all they can talk about is how dangerous you are, that makes you dope in my book. You can't help but chortle at the human's remarks. Straightforward as it is, this girl sure has a way with words, you reckon. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised that you haven't cracked under the pressure yet. Must be pretty strong to have endured all that shit for so long. But I know firsthand how much bullshit the world can spit at you sometimes, so if you ever need a hand, be sure to call on me. The world does love bullshitting you, not gonna lie. I'm doing a lot of bad words here that YouTube might say, whoa, this channel is pretty bad, terminated. Hopefully not, please. And me, of course. Aw. You're not quite sure what help the two siblings could provide you with, but you cannot help but smile at their suggestion nonetheless. Thanks, I owe you one. Same thing when a family member dies and all these people come forward and say, you got your back and stuff. You're like, I'm not sure what kind of help I'm gonna need in the future, but yeah, okay, sure, thanks, right? No, you don't. We owe you one after tonight. I foresee a lot of free lunch boxes in your future. You can't say you find that thought unappealing in the slightest. Having our secret top-tier restaurant a few floors up you can eat at every once in a while is definitely not a downside in your book. First impressions aside, Daphne and Apollo are quite the friendly and helpful pair. You feel as though you definitely misjudged them earlier. Much like, to be fair, they did to you. Then it is in our nature to be judgy people. People say don't judge the book by its cover. It's actually harder than you think. How do we judge things? We use observation. We use our senses. If it's food, we smell. If it looks appetizing, alright, looks cool. And once you taste it, oh, it's disgusting, I'm not eating that, that's a scam, something like that. Or like, there's like checklists, and especially with people. People say beauty doesn't matter. Oh please. It's important for as an impression firsthand. Let's not kid ourselves here. And the personality stuff that just comes after. Like, alright, this person, alright, then they talk to you, oh, okay, I'm wrong, things like that. There's still something I don't understand. The lamb's expression sours all of a sudden as he begins pondering something you can't quite grasp. If you don't like the way most people react to you, well, existing, then why come here of all places? Bloomberg never struck me as a particularly forward-thinking place, all things considered. He probably didn't have a choice in the matter, if I had to guess. It's not like he... No, I chose to come here willingly. Huh? But... Your reply leaves the two siblings speechless, albeit not for long. Well, that's an interesting decision for sure. Sure. Place is as backwards as it gets. No effing shit, everyone here's got it out for you. You might as well wear a sticker on your back that says, "Kick me." You turn to face the human looking slightly irritated. I didn't do it for them, you know. If I could avoid it, I'd never set foot here again. The conversation's taking some very personal connotations all of a sudden. It's definitely not something you expected or looked forward to discussing. Though that hardly stifles the siblings. I don't know, man. Stifles the siblings' curiosity. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong how I read that. But then why would you come here? It takes you a while to muster the energy needed to answer. Because my family lives here. At least they used to live here. Hell, if I know where they went after... Your family? Daphne's expression appears to have considerably soured upon hearing that word, and her brother appears to be under a similar spell. Yeah, I've been looking for them ever since I came to. When we last spoke, a dark cloud takes over your mind as you touch upon those last terrible days. The things you heard, the things you said. The more you think about them, the colder your insides become. You try your best to push back against the darkness, hoping to stay sane long enough to get out of this conversation. Let's just say we didn't really leave on a high note. But that's why I gotta find them again. I can't accept that they just move on without me. Not when I'm still here, not when we can still be a family. I know things are different and that they likely suffered a lot as a result of my passing, but I'm sure that if I just show them what I've become, they'll realize that there's no reason to feel hurt. I mean, yeah, he's alive, man. I mean, if we had the technology, I'd have like my grandfather and uncle still alive with me. Funny enough, you take a long sigh to sort through your messy feelings in your head. I didn't come this far, endure so much only to lose everything anyway. Everything anyway. There you go. If I could regain my life, I'm sure I can regain my life too. I just have to believe that. I'm sure you'll win them back sooner or later, Isaac. I have full faith in you. Aw, anything is possible so long as you believe in it. Ew. That smile on Apollo's face is all the comfort you need right now. His unbridled enthusiasm is more than enough to keep your dark thoughts at bay and restore your hope for the future. You're truly blessed to have someone like him by your side right now. His sister, on the other hand, appears far less ecstatic for some reason. Maybe the word family is like a little bit touchy. Let me get this straight. You're looking for the very people who abandoned you. Damn, straight. Forget it, nothing good's gonna come out from that. You'd do well to give them all the middle finger and go do your own thing somewhere else. Looks like somebody got abandoned. Both of them, it seems like. Daphne, because those looks like family pictures and some of those portraits right there. Daphne, you can't just say something like that. Why? Daphne, you can't just say something like that. Why not? Am I supposed to encourage him while he goes on an endless quest for misery? His family fucking ditch him. Apollo, why the fuck should he reconnect with people who threw him in the trash without a second thought? You're too stunned to say anything. Daphne's words cut deeper than a knife cutting through butter than she intended, and your wounds are beginning to show. Noticing your discomfort, a human pushes the still half-full plate forward and stands up from the table. Sorry, I'm not hungry anymore. I'll be in the bathroom. Without another word and with her face still staring at the floor, the girl fast walks out of the room with a clenched fist swinging by her sides. You're left in the kitchen with Apollo, still busy pondering over her troubling advice. She suggests leaving behind your family, abandoning them like they did to you. Was she wrong in doing so? You can't say you don't see the point, given what happened. It wouldn't be unreasonable to try and forget about them entirely. But is that really what you want? Is that what you really gave up your life for back at the hospital? In the midst of all this pondering, you hear Apollo trying to comfort you once again. I'm sorry about all this. Don't be. It's not your fault any of this happened. In fact, was it something I said that made her upset? Am I to blame her outbursts? Of course not. It's just that the lamb hesitates to speak further about this topic. She's had it rough is all. But I'm sure she'll get better soon. She's strong like that. Alright. I think she's tough. She is one tough cookie. I'm sure she'll be back any minute now. But once you dunk her in milk, Yeah, you get soft cookies. I don't know where I was going with that one. What the hell? The lamb quiets down after that assertion, hoping that his sister might hear him and come back to finish her dinner. However, his fate does a complete 180 before even 10 seconds have passed. Anyway, I'll go check up on her just to be sure. In the bathroom? Yeah, I gotta make sure she doesn't fall in the toilet or something. Come on, Isaac. They're brother and sister. It's like it's normal. Like, listen, if you've seen your family somewhat naked when you were young, and then you're now used to it. I'm used to it with my mother. I don't get naked though. No. That's not the condition here. She can walk around there, whatever. Keeping her clothes on or whatever. Or stuff like that. Trust me, I've seen a lot of it. And I'm like sick of it. Or just used to the point like, I'm just, yeah, get some clothes. You'll be fine on your own for a while, won't you? You see no reason why you shouldn't be, assuming you don't lose your mind worrying over these two in the meantime. But you trust yourself enough not to have a panic attack in the middle of the lamb's apartment. Of course, I'll be waiting in the living room then. Awesome, I'll see you in a bit then, don't go anywhere. And feel free to play a few games on your own while you're waiting. I want you to kick her butt next round, got it? I can't promise much, but I'll do my best. Oh. Giving you a final thumbs up, the boy runs after his sister, leaving you all alone. Sorry, I burped. In the middle of the kitchen. Looks like you're going to be on your lonesome for a while. Not exactly how you imagined your evening to turn out. Everything was much more interesting than you thought it'd be, though you can't necessarily say you enjoyed yourself either. You give a final look into the bowl before you, which you completely emptied in the midst of your earlier conversation. At least the food was nice. You quietly head back towards the living room, resting your heavy back on the comfortable couch. You could certainly follow the young man's advice and play a couple more games on your own in order to be more prepared the next time Daphne challenges you to a fight. I'm amazed that the couch can hold his weight, but then again, it is the future, so I guess they built these things like, they're built for a truck. I don't know. That's not canon, by the way. That's just me thinking. But you cannot seem to get past the results screen of your last upset. So wrapped up you are in your thoughts. So much has happened since you first entered through that door. You're not sure how you were meant to feel right now. One thing's for sure though, you are in no mood for playing. Tired and pensive, you find your gaze wandering towards the corner of the room where some old framed photos reside within an alcove in the wall. Odd. You can't recall anyone else aside from your family relying on old artifacts like those. Though they seem somewhat ordinary, you're intrigued nonetheless. You stand up and head towards that alcove. No, that's an owl. That's an alcove. Your mind so overcome with curiosity, you don't even try to question the rudeness of your actions. Among the many photos which depict the two siblings in their younger years, one stands out amongst the other. The young Daphne and Apollo stare into the camera from afar with what looks like their parents standing behind them. They don't look anything like her, that's for sure. Though that's to be expected, it's exceedingly rare for two family members to share the same species, though not necessarily impossible. The photo itself looks rather nice in spite of its simplicity. It's definitely among the cutest things you've seen in recent memory. Daphne's uncommon face included. Looks like she hasn't always been all doom and gloom after all. Apollo on the other hand doesn't seem to have changed much since then. You can't see their parents very well due to the strange lighting of the image, but the two of them look about as happy and proud as they can be. You wonder where they are now. Probably living someplace else, you imagine. Both Daphne and Apollo appear to be old enough to vote, and not everyone likes to live under the same roof as their parents past a certain age. Even you were planning to move out at some point before the hospital sent you that letter. That's strange. How come the room got so cold all of a sudden? You could swear that you just felt a chill breeze pass you by in spite of the fact that you're quite literally indoors. A strange feeling begins to crawl under your metallic skin all of a sudden. The all too familiar feeling of being watched. Where this feeling... Oh god, my voice cracked. Yeah. Where this feeling originated from, you have no clue. You haven't heard the sound from the direction the two siblings disappeared towards in quite a while now. And yet that dreadful feeling, funny enough, since I'm in the Philippines in Asia, it's mostly, you can still live in your parents' house. It's like normal here. Like once you have your enough money to actually buy a house, yeah, sure, move out. But usually your parents are like, yeah, stay here, but you can keep this house, whatever, you know, and their retirement will be with you. You know, they'll be your it's like an extended family kind of thing, but still, it's still your main family in a way. And yet that dreadful feeling keeps growing stronger and stronger, like an obscure malady. It's like malady festering within you. What the? As your eyes are repelled from the photo by an almost physical force, you have to do a double take. There's someone, or rather something, lying just behind the counter, watching you. For a few brief moments, you stare into its blood-red eyes in pure denial of the situation as your mind tries to convince you that this is nothing more than a simple dream. Unexpected? That's Daphne. Or a nightmare. The words that come out of the entity's invisible mouth are like 1,000 whispers in the dark, shapeless and ever-changing. If before you were unsettled, now you are thoroughly frightened. You shyly stumble backwards, holding the photo you were carrying against your chest as if to protect the two children within it from what you're witnessing. You try to avert your gaze from the apparition beyond the corner, if only for an instant, only to realize that it has long since vanished. You take a moment to stop and recover your breath. Futile though it may be, you're hyperventilating and your gaze is darting all over the place in search of that disturbance. You're clearly losing your mind. Was that some sort of hallucination? A visual bug similar to those wisps from earlier? Perhaps a consequence of visiting this madhouse for too long? What the? Sorry for the background noise, I'm really sorry about that. Your questions are immediately silenced as you feel a cold, weightless claw land on your shoulder from behind you. An ageless gaze stares into your soul as your body freezes up, incapable of reacting to the madness that has taken hold of this room. You are purposeless. Again, it speaks from a mouth it doesn't show. What do you seek to accomplish here? Another pause, though the respite is brief. Perhaps. The hand suddenly slides off of your shoulder. Its gaze shifts focus as it turns to face the other way. You'll prove your worth yet. What the hell is that, man? You hear the sound of footsteps coming from behind you. 1, 2, 3, then no more. As fear's grip on you subsides, you immediately turn around. However, no matter wherever you look, the shadow is nowhere to be seen. What the hell is that, man? What the hell was that? What's going on? Isaac, are you okay? Apollo's voice beckons you as both he and his sister rushes into the room, looking rather alarmed. Why are you standing there like that? You look like you've seen a ghost. Once more, you steer your gaze in the direction where that apparition disappeared to. The room remains as it always was, with not a trace of that phantasm left to see. Though you still fear that the entity might reappear again when you least expect it, you're somewhat confident that you're safe for now. Hey, are you okay? Right, you almost forgot about Daphne and her brother, dreading the return of that fiend as you were. Yeah, there's no way you can tell them about what you just saw, not while you still have no idea what you did see in the first place. As you struggle to come up with an excuse, you lock into the old picture of the two siblings that you're somehow still carrying in your arms. I just recalled some bad memories is all. I guess that conversation earlier at the dinner table left me a little vulnerable. While Daphne's expression is anything but certain, the lamb wears his feelings on his sleeves quite cleanly. I'm sorry. This is all my fault. I shouldn't have left you here on your own lonesome when you were clearly not feeling well. Well, that's because you went to check up on your sister, and there's nothing shameful about that. And besides, it's my fault I got spooked about that spider earlier. I really overreacted. A spider? You didn't say anything about that earlier. Oh fuck, I'm not paying attention. Gotta focus on keeping my story straight. If I have to tell them about what I saw, they'd really start to think I'm crazy. Yeah, it caught me off guard when I was thinking about some stuff, that's why I fell. Oh dear, must have been terrible. Quite. The human's eyes dart all over the room, inspecting the place from top to bottom. She's looking for that spider. She'll be searching much longer still. realizing that Daphne turns her annoyed look on you once again in an effort to resume the conversation. So, looking through our old photos, huh? That's right, you were snooping around their private collection before that thing caught you by surprise. In the heat of the moment with everything that happened, you completely forgot about your rude and thoughtless actions. Only now do you realize that you probably should have just followed the lamb's advice and kept to yourself for a while. I'm very sorry about that. No, it's alright, I get it. Bad memories and all that. Plus, it's not like there are any rules around this part saying the frames are off limits, even though there should be. That said, could you please return that photo? I don't want it to get scratched or anything. Right here. You hand the framed photo back to Daphne, who immediately brings it back to the half-hidden alcove in the corner. Thank God nothing happened. I got a little nervous for a second. Is that photo important? Very. Even without knowing why that is, you still feel awful about grabbing that frame on a whim like that. It clearly has a special place in the two siblings' hearts, and it was rude of you to treat it so carelessly. You'd ask for their forgiveness once again, but you feel as though the lot of you apologize to each other more than enough for one night. Perhaps changing the subject would be a better received initiative. So was everything alright? Yeah, Daphne just needed a moment to get her thoughts sorted out is all. The girl's gaze nonetheless refused to meet with yours, almost as if she were embarrassed by what happened. Anyway, now that we're all here, we can get back to playing video games. I've been looking forward to seeing you guys duke it out all night now. I'm sure it'll be a battle for the ages. Come on, Apollo, you can see he's tired. You are? If you do, you honestly can't tell. Maybe Isaac would rather head home now and come back another time. We can't know unless we ask. Oh, you're right. Sorry. So, what do you want to do, Isaac? We could do something together. We can just call it a night if you'd prefer. Truth be told, you were looking forward to playing a few more games with Daphne earlier, if only to get another shot at knocking her down her pedestal. On the other hand, with everything that happened tonight, it's kind of hard to muster the same enthusiasm again with so many questions cluttering your head. Enjoying the game could be pretty tough. Not to mention, it's possible that you may be overstaying your welcome. Maybe that's why Daphne mentioned her tired look before. Oh, I thought we were trying to get it. This is one straight up visual novel, but we're just going through it. It's like, it's a little bit like Sakura Succubus, but that has a little bit some decision making, a little bit of decisions, right? But there's no like heavy impact on the decisions, I think. Like, okay, what if I pick this option? What's gonna happen next? Yeah, it's not much happening there. I think I'm gonna have to pass. Daphne's right, it's been a long night and I could use some rest. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was really hoping that I'll be back another day, alright? I've been looking forward to tearing Daphne a new one myself. Maybe we can arrange that for another time if you still have me. Sorry, if you'll still have me. Apollo's spirits are reinvigorated upon hearing your promise. You'd really visit again? As many times as you'll have me. Your words seem to have a positive impact on the young man who can barely keep himself together. Daphne, on the other hand, doesn't seem to have any issues keeping her own emotions in check. Alright then, I'll accompany you to the door. Gotcha. See you again, Apollo. You too, Isaac. You exit the apartment after waving your goodbyes to the lamb a final time, who gladly reciprocates in kind. He doesn't follow you all the way to the hallway, however, instead heading towards the back of their home where you assume the bedrooms are located. Poor kid probably deserves a good night's rest far more than you do. His sister quietly hangs by the door, getting ready to see you off for the night. Thanks for the nice dinner, by the way. I never really got to thank you for that. Don't mention it. It was nice sharing it with you. The girl's expression once again veers off into the uncertain, some heavy thoughts likely troubling her mind. What's up? You feeling well? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. It takes her a moment to continue the conversation. Look, did you really mean what you said earlier to Apollo? What are you referring to? You know, about you wanting to come back again? Are you serious? Judging from her silence, it appears as though she is. Of course I meant that. I had a fun night. Hell yeah, Apollo's a cool dude, man. Heh. Right. You don't believe me? Yeah, sorry about that. Hard to believe someone who got yelled at thrice in one night would ever want to come back here again. That makes sense. Of course, it's possible you might just want to come back here for Apollo and the food and stuff, but even then Okay, look, I'm gonna be real with you. You're right. You did give off the impression that you're a fucking psycho. And I'm not gonna tell you that I enjoyed all those shouting matches either, no matter how much I can empathize with you. But I still had fun with you guys nonetheless. I enjoyed playing video games with you, hanging out and chatting with you and your brother. And yeah, the food was pretty good too. All in all, you didn't strike me as the sort of person I should steer clear from. Too much. Rather, I'd love to learn more about you. Plus, you treat me like an actual person when I'm around you. That's already a big plus in my book. The girl remains stuck in place for a while. Authority speeches, it's clear that she definitely didn't expect your reaction to be so positive. The silence is interrupted when she finally starts cackling under her breath, a wide smile on her face. Touché. Sorry? Never mind. What I meant to say was, thanks. We'd like to have you back as well. I'd like to have you back as well. Been forever since I last had fun with someone rather than Apollo. Maybe one day you'll actually pose a challenge at Reaper's site. Just wait and see. It'll be sooner than you think. It'd better. Kicking your ass is only fun when all you can do is jump around like a scared bunny. Look who's talking, you camper. Camper? I play the range character. There's nothing campy about taking advantage of a character's full kit. Full kit? You better use 10 moves at most. At least I tried to diversify my options. Oh, is that what you call it? I thought you were just trying to dance the salsa or something. The hallway suddenly filled with you and your friends' laughter, probably much to the nearby residents' annoyance. You can tell that the human was just messing around and she knew you were as well, a light-hearted contrast to the heated debates from earlier. Maybe there really is hope for this strange friendship between you two. Either way, I'll be looking forward to hang out with you and your brother again. Likewise, feel free to return one of these days. I'm sure Apollo will never object to having you around. Of course, want me to share my number? You mean your phone number? Daphne, I am the phone now. Oh, right, even though you look nothing like a human, it's kinda hard to remember you're an android sometimes. I'll take that as a compliment. Alright, and while we're at it, here's my number as well. The two of you take some time to share your respective numbers. The girl writes yours down on her smartphone, whereas you commit to hers to memory and hope that it'll be enough. My man, if you're an android, you can just boom boom boom. That's my memory right there. That's good. That's the procedure. You got all that stuff memorized down to a T. You know? You have a CPU for a brain after all. Yeah, you could do multiple instructions. Well, I guess not so much because the consciousness is still at the pilot's, seat. And the CPU hard drive, whatever, is at the back end. You know what I'm saying? The support, the secondary. What I'm saying is, it's still his decision to do this task and stuff. After all, it'd be pretty ridiculous if we could still forget things like that on a whim. Nevertheless, now that there's nothing else that needs to be done, you can bid goodbye to your new friend. Alright, I should go now. Thanks for everything, again. No problem. Call me if you need anything, okay? Of course, see you again one of these days. I'll count on it. Alright, we got a new friend. With that, the human gently closes the door behind her, leaving you all alone in the middle of the hallway. There's nothing left for you to do but head back to your apartment and wait for the next day to start. You cannot think of anything better to do with your time than that at this hour of the day. Hopefully tomorrow will be at least a little calmer than today was. As you head towards the stairs, you can't help but wonder over everything that happened tonight. A kind young man with a strange memory trouble. A kind young man with strange memory troubles, a human girl that hides secrets both from you and her own brother, and a band of strange criminals who seem to have a history with them. Not to mention that strange shade you met while you were messing around in the living room. That has got to be the scariest thing you ever saw in your life, like something straight out of a horror film. It definitely wasn't human. You're not even sure he was even physically there with you. Could it have been an ability then? No, even that's ridiculous. Abilities usually consist in the manipulation of the elements, temporary shapeshifting, or other superhuman feats. A perfect example would be those ice manipulating gimmicks that Thug tried to use against you earlier. But that thing was entirely unlike anything you've ever heard of. It looked like an actual ghost who could both reason and talk as if it had a mind of its own. You've heard of uncommons who possess atypical powers before, but even that still doesn't answer the most important question of all. If that really was an ability, who did it belong to? I'm probably overthinking this. It was probably just a visual bug of some sort, or a hallucination, or maybe just my imagination going crazy for a second. Maybe I should take some pills for this. Assuming there are any that could work on me, maybe I should ask Mary about it tomorrow. With these thoughts keeping your head occupied, you continue on your merry way towards your apartment, hoping that no further apparitions will startle you again on your journey. Alright, I guess I'm gonna end this video right here. I think it's a little bit short. I don't know. Should I end this right here? Maybe I should keep on going. Maybe I should keep on going a little bit further. You enter your apartment such as it is. Even though you've been living here for the past few days, it's still just as disorganized as it was when you first arrived. You went to do all the packaging and settle in as soon as you could, but laziness is a difficult demon to exercise, especially now that you have so much time on your hands. Your first instinct is to drag yourself to the bed in the other room and immediately go to sleep, but you hardly make it 5 steps in before you collapse on top of the large couch in the middle of the room. Have you been there? I think I've been there, in which you just want to sleep, man. Either you fall asleep on your couch, not even changing to your pajamas or whatever, in a nightgown or whatever, your dress or for your sleeping attire, or straight up to your bed. Really, it has happened, right? You need a moment to collect yourself, or 2, or 100. Only now that you're sprawled on your sofa like an extra layer of clothing, do you realize how thoroughly today's events have drained you. From all the times where you were forced to recall your own death, to the ones where you were confronted by the misery of your current existence, to the people who treated you like trash simply because they could. Is there no end to how awful your life is going to get? Is there nothing you can do to show people that you too are worthy of respect, the same as anyone else? Good question. Your mind grows ever darker as these thoughts begin to cloud your better judgment. Though a few lights remain even in the mist. Mary, Natalie, Apollo, Daphne. There are still some people willing to give you a chance, to show you the kindness that you so desperately crave. But even then, the specter of your existence or lack thereof casts a grim shadow on your hopes. If you truly are— oh, I cracked, man. If you truly are nothing more than a machine, if you truly are not the person you claim to be, would they still look at you the same way as they do now? Ooh, that hits hard. That's a good question. Would they not cast you aside if you're nothing but trash? Would they not try to get rid of you if you're nothing but a monster, like your family did? Though you cannot shed tears, you can feel your vision growing fuzzier as you begin to sob uncontrollably. You burrow your head into the pillow in an attempt to hide from your own fears, though that hardly seems to help. You've endured these feelings all day, but now they claim the suffering they feel they're owed. And so both your mind and your vision begin to fade to black. When you regain consciousness, you find yourself strapped to your bed, if you can even call it that, in the midst of what can barely be called a bedroom. And this is where I end the video, I guess. This is where I end. He's gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep as well. I'm recording this at like 11 p.m. Yeah. So I'll be seeing you in the next episode of No More Future, or maybe some other video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want me to play a different game or something, you can comment down below. Feel free. I can't guarantee I'll play the game, but I'll check it out at least, or make at least one video of it if possible. If it's too raunchy, a little bit not YouTube friendly, or a little bit difficult, like the whole game is just 18 plus, well, sorry to say, I might not actually upload it. Yup. But yeah, good luck whatever you're doing. Long outro again, sorry. Stay safe. Bye.